Welcome to another episode of The Good and Bad. Today we're taking a look at the iPhone 14 Pro Max, and this is going to be an exciting episode. And as usual, I'm going to tell you 5 of my favorite features of the iPhone 14 Pro Max and also 5 of my not so favorite features of the iPhone 14 Pro Max. As usual, I grilled this phone and you guys are going to really enjoy it. Let's start with 5 of my favorite features. Let's get it. The first, of course, is going to be the screen. Apart from this being 6.7 inches and all, that is not what I actually like about this. The fact that you actually get what you want from the screen is amazing. For instance, let me give you a typical example. If you're editing a video on this, you're editing this on a similar Android device. I'm not going to mention names here. On a similar Android device, what you see on the display is what you're going to get if you export the video to your monitor or social media or anything like that. There's so many instances that I edited a whole video on an Android phone and I exported it on social media. I watched it on my monitor and this was way off. But what you get on the iPhone 14 Pro Max OLED screen is exactly what you're going to get if you export it on your monitor or you watch it on social media. And apart from that, the brightness of the screen is 2000 nits. What that means is that if you're watching content or anything outside, you're not going to have any difficulty. Trust me guys, this is the brightest screen that I've ever used outside. It makes visibility on the phone so easy. You can literally see anything at all if you're watching content, even in direct sunlight. Apple did an amazing job when it comes to the screen here. I really like the screen. The quality of the screen, the brightness of the screen, the colors, the OLED display. Like, this is literally the best screen I've used in any device, hands down. I have to tell you that, mainly because of the brightness, of course. Let's go to my second favorite feature. The next is going to be the battery life. This has a 4300 mAh battery, but guys, the chipset on here was so efficient. I even had some days that I went 10 hours of screen on time, and extreme, I think I even went 11 hours or almost 12 hours one time. The battery on here has been my favorite in any iPhone that I've ever used. I can literally use my phone almost the whole day, a lot of FaceTime calls, a lot of Instagram and the likes, and I still get about 10 hours of screen on time at the end of the day. It's just phenomenal. But it's still a phone. If you find yourself playing games or especially taking a lot of videos and the likes, you're definitely going to drain your battery fast. So the battery life on the iPhone 14 Pro Max has been the best for me. I really enjoy the battery life. For once, I can actually go to work and I don't even need to carry my iPhone. I've never for once charged my iPhone whilst I work. I come back home and I still have enough battery life on my iPhone. So the battery life on the iPhone 14 Pro Max is really cool. The next is going to be the camera system. iPhones are known for having amazing pictures, and this is no different. Apple decided to put the 48 megapixel sensor in this one, and guys, I really like the cameras of the iPhone 14 Pro Max, especially when it comes to dynamic range, colors and all. It's consistent when it comes to taking pictures. You know, anytime you pull out your iPhone, you can get that amazing moment, you can get that amazing picture that you want, because this is that dependable. So the camera system on the iPhone 14 Pro Max has been phenomenal for me. So if you ask me what's the best camera system in an iPhone right now, I'm definitely picking the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Now to my next favorite feature of this iPhone that everybody can attest to. The speakers on this is like, yo, you can literally play music on this and everybody will turn and like, yo, is that a phone? The speakers on the iPhone 14 Pro Max is like, it's really cool. If you have 3 or 4 of these, you can literally have a party with it. It's that good. The speakers on the iPhone 14 Pro Max is literally really cool. It's so loud. Like, the bass is there. It's really worth the money. If you're buying your iPhone because of your speakers, trust me, you're really going to enjoy. So the speakers on the iPhone 14 Pro Max is definitely a solid feature of the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Last but not least, we have the design. The design of the iPhone 14 Pro Max screams premium everywhere. It has a stainless steel for the rails, Corning Gorilla Glass for the front and back. So if you want a very premium feeling device, a very hefty one that feels like, yo, my money's in my hand, the iPhone 14 Pro Max design is one of the best. I really like it in terms of quality of the materials that were used here. So these are my top favorite features of the iPhone 14 Pro Max. And as usual, let's get to my not so favorite features of the iPhone 14 Pro Max. To be honest, I have to tell you guys, some of these features I had to think and try to find them out, because the iPhone 14 Pro Max was that good, but I still managed to find 5 of my not so favorite features of the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Let's get it. The first feature is going to be the cameras. I know I did say I love the cameras on here, but this is a niche feature. The cameras on the iPhone 14 Pro Max doesn't do so well when it comes to dark-skinned people like me. I've gotten a lot of people entering my DM asking me how to take amazing pictures on their iPhone, mainly because the majority of us are dark-skinned. So if we take pictures on the iPhone 14 Pro Max, the picture seems to oversaturate the dark-skin colors that we have. So it makes our skin look a little bit more richer and darker than it actually is in real life. But I kind of had a fix around it. So if you are dark-skinned like me and you take pictures and you want to fix it, you can actually go to the editing feature on there and increase the brilliance a little bit. This is going to lighten up the tone of your skin a little bit. So if you're having oversaturated dark skin issue like me, after every picture you can actually choose the edit and increase the brilliance. It's going to make our skin look a little bit lighter. So that is my first not so favorite feature of the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Let's go to the second one. The second one definitely has to do with multitasking. iPhone users don't like to admit the fact that even with this big screen, they can't actually enjoy multitasking. I don't know if it's because they haven't actually enjoyed it before, but with this big screen, imagine whilst watching a YouTube video, you can literally open your notes application down there and take notes, or the same when you're on social media, open two applications at the same time. The dynamic island is there, but the multitasking feature that the dynamic island comes with is not as good as a real dedicated multitasking. So Apple, we need multitasking. We have a big screen like this. We should be able to open applications, like two applications at the same time on the iPhone, and this is not available on the iPhone, and it's definitely something most iPhone users don't want to admit. But there's no real multitasking on the iPhone 14 Pro Max, and that is something I don't like. The next is going to be the lightning port. Like for instance, we are in 2023 Apple. For instance, if I go out, I have one charger, I can literally use the one charger to charge my MacBook. I can use that charger to charge my S23 Plus. I can use that charger to charge my power bank or anything like that. But if I pull out my iPhone, then I need to carry a different charger for the iPhone. Like, why? I know there are rumors that the next iPhone is going to have a USB Type-C or maybe Thunderbolt, so I'm actually looking forward to that. And this is even still USB 2.0. So if you want to transfer, for instance, you go somewhere, you take a lot of videos, you want to transfer the videos onto your PC or anything like that, the transfer rate is not the fastest. It's so slow. So Apple, let's definitely get rid of the lightning port and put in maybe a Thunderbolt or a faster USB Type-C port on here. So I don't like the lightning port. Hopefully we get rid of that in the next iPhone that is coming. My next favorite feature is there's no charger in the box. Apple decided to make the boxes this thin, claiming, oh, they're saving the world and all that, but I need me a charger, guys. Imagine buying a phone for $1,000 plus, and if I didn't have a charger, I still have to go and pay extra money to buy a charger to charge my phone. For $1,000, I need me a charger in the box. So not having a charger in the box is definitely not cool. Apple, bring that back. I don't mind getting a thicker box if that means I'm going to get a charger in the box. Not all of us have chargers lying around that we can use for our new iPhone. So new iPhones, new chargers. We want that. My last not so favorite feature of the iPhone 14 Pro Max is the design again. I know I said I like the design mainly because of the build quality, but the design, the flat edges of the iPhone 14 Pro Max doesn't feel so comfortable if you hold it in the hand without a case. If you're somebody that likes to hold your iPhone without a case like this, you're definitely going to feel like you're holding a brick in your hand. The flattened edges on this doesn't feel so good if you hold it in the hand. The reason why I always have it in a case, because then you don't really feel the sharp size on the iPhone 14 Pro Max. So I don't like the sharp size on the iPhone 14 Pro Max, even though it's cool in some scenarios where you can literally just put your phone down and you can use it. I admit I've used that so many times when I'm on calls. I wish it was a little bit curved, maybe on the side, so it doesn't feel so sharp inside your palms. So these are my favorite features and not so favorite features of the iPhone 14 Pro Max. If I missed anything at all, as usual, feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. And I really appreciate the love and the support you guys have been giving to this series so far. If you're new to this channel, of course, subscribe and turn on the post notifications so you get notified the next time I upload a video. And as usual, I'll see you in my next upload. Peace. I'm out.